Hidden treasures in your pocket. 3 coins that changed history forever. The 1968 Washington quarter, the 2011 5 Piso, and the 1967 Lincoln penny. What secrets do they hold? What hidden value could be waiting for? You join me as we uncover the untold stories and rare facts that make these coins worth more than you ever imagined. 5 Piso coin from the year 2011, a coin that carries not just monetary value, but also historical and cultural significance for the Philippines, and those who collect and study its currency. To begin our journey, let us take a look back at the origins of the Philippine peso, which is the official currency of the Philippines, and has evolved through centuries of colonial rule revolution and nation building. The 5 Piso coin we are discussing today belongs to the new generation currency coin series, which was launched by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or BSP, to enhance security features, improve durability, and showcase the country's heritage and national symbols. The 5 Piso coin that circulated in 2011 was actually a part of the previous series known as the BSP coin series, which was introduced in 1995. This series was introduced as a modernization effort following the 1993 reorganization of the central bank, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The coin was minted in nickel-plated steel and featured on its obverse the profile of Andres Bonifacio, one of the most prominent figures in Philippine history who played a key role in the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonization. He is also known as the father of the Philippine Revolution and the founder of the Katipunan, a revolutionary society that led the fight for independence. The reverse of the coin carries the official seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas along with the coin's denomination and minting year, which in this case is 2011. The design of the seal symbolizes the central bank's commitment to maintaining price stability and supporting economic growth through responsible monetary policies. The 5-pointed star represents the guiding principles of integrity, excellence, patriotism, dynamism, and innovation, which are core values of the BSP. The 5 Piso coin's history cannot be separated from the broader evolution of Philippine currency, which has seen transformations from pre-colonial barter systems to Spanish and American-era coinages, and eventually to the modern coins we see today. Each coin in Philippine history reflects a part of its journey through colonization, independence, and national identity building. It is worth noting that Andres Bonifacio's depiction on the coin marks a significant departure from previous coin designs, where leaders like Emilio Aguinaldo and Jose Rizal were traditionally featured. The inclusion of Bonifacio emphasizes the role of grassroots revolutionaries and the working class in shaping the Philippine nation, and in many ways the coin itself is a tribute to the Filipino spirit of resistance, bravery, and independence. The 5 Piso coin in 2011 was widely circulated and used in everyday transactions, from street markets to public transportation to local shops. Its presence in the pockets and wallets of millions of Filipinos made it one of the most commonly used coins in the country. It was not only a piece of metal used for trade, but a symbol of national pride that connected everyday life with the broader historical narrative of the Filipino people. As collectors and historians examine this coin, they often look at mint marks, wear patterns, edge inscriptions, and overall condition, which can tell stories about the coin's journey through time. Some coins from this year may carry errors or unique minting characteristics that can increase their value and rarity, making them highly sought after in numismatic circles. The materials used in the 2011 5 Piso coin also represent a balance between durability and cost-effectiveness. Nickel-plated steel was chosen for its resistance to corrosion and wear, which ensures that the coin can withstand years of circulation without losing its detail or structure. This also reflects the BSP's commitment to creating currency that is both practical for everyday use and economical for the government to produce. In terms of dimensions, the 2011 5 Piso coin measures approximately 25 millimeters in diameter and has a thickness of about 1.9 millimeters with a weight of 7.7 grams. Its round shape and smooth edge make it distinct among other coins in the series, and its silver color provides a neutral yet dignified appearance, fitting for a coin that commemorates a revolutionary hero. While the 2011 version continued the tradition of honoring Bonifacio on the 5 Piso, coin changes were coming in the following years. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas began preparing for a transition to a new design which would eventually be released in the new generation currency coin series beginning in 2018. This new series featured updated designs, improved security features, and a complete overhaul of the denomination layout, including the 5 Piso coin, which moved from featuring Bonifacio to featuring the national hero Jose Rizal once again. Despite this shift, the 2011 5 Piso coin remains an important historical artifact, representing a unique period in Philippine numismatic history. It stands as a reminder of the country's revolutionary roots, the enduring legacy of Andres Bonifacio, and the ongoing evolution of national currency in response to economic, technological, and cultural developments. Collectors often prize the 2011 5 Piso coin, not just for its design and historical associations, but for its role as a bridge between generations of currency. It marks the final years of the BSP coin series before the transition to the new generation series, and as such, it occupies a unique space in the timeline of Philippine coinage. Those who study these coins look for differences in strike quality, mint errors, variations in the seal, or even changes in the font and spacing of the inscriptions, all of which add layers of depth to the coin story. The production of the 5 Piso coin in 2011 was handled by the security plant complex of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, located in Quezon City. This facility is responsible for minting and printing all Philippine coins and banknotes, and it adheres to strict standards of quality control and security to ensure the integrity of the nation's currency supply. The processes involved in minting a coin like the 5 Piso include blanking, annealing, upsetting, striking, and inspection. Each step is crucial in ensuring the coin meets the specifications set by the BSP and can withstand years of circulation. Over time, coins like the 2011 5 Piso develop wear patterns that reflect the history of their use, from being exchanged in bustling public markets to being used for fare payments in jeepneys and tricycles. Each scratch and blemish tells a story of its journey across the hands of millions of Filipinos. These signs of wear are not just signs of age, but are physical representations of the coin's connection to the life and movement of a nation. In this video, we will continue to explore the specific details of the 2011 5 Piso coin, including its market value, its role in popular culture, the differences in mintage numbers across the years, and how it compares to other coins in the BSP series, whether you are a beginner. BSP series. Whether you are a beginner collector, a history enthusiast, or someone who simply wants to learn more about Philippine coins, this video is packed with valuable insights that will help you appreciate the rich legacy behind this small yet powerful symbol of national identity. So sit back and get ready for an in-depth journey through history, economy, and culture as we uncover everything there is to know about the 2011 5 Piso coin and what makes it a standout piece in the world of numismatics. The coin's design in 2011 retained many of the original features introduced in the 1995 issue, with minor refinements to the surface texture and edge quality. It was minted using modern striking technologies that allowed for more consistent details and better resistance to wear. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas used advanced quality control measures during this time, ensuring that coins met exacting standards in terms of weight, metal content, and die alignment. Although most 2011 5 Piso coins were struck to standard quality, some minor variations exist due to the high volume of production, making certain errors collectible. These can include off-center strikes, die cracks, misaligned prints, and doubled letters or numbers. These error coins are especially prized by numismatists who seek out rare or anomalous specimens for their collections. Looking at the economic context of 2011, the Philippines was experiencing steady growth, a stable inflation rate, and improving investor confidence under the administration of President Benigno Aquino III. The Philippine peso was performing well relative to other currencies and remittances from overseas. Filipino workers continued to bolster the economy. This relative financial stability allowed the BSP to focus on long-term improvements to the coinage system, including considerations for transitioning to a more secure, modern coin series, which would eventually be implemented in 2018. The BSP also conducted studies and surveys during this period to understand public opinion about coin design usability and security. Based on feedback, it became clear that some coins in the existing series, including the 5 Piso, were prone to confusion with others due to similar sizes and colors. In particular, the 5 Piso and 1 Piso coins were nearly identical in shape and appearance, leading to transactional errors and public frustration. While the 2011 version retained the original design, it played a role in informing future changes to the coinage system. In preparation for these changes, the 2011 coin served as a benchmark, helping the central bank evaluate circulation patterns, coin return rates, counterfeit resistance, and material performance. These evaluations influenced decisions about the shape, size, color, and edge of the next generation of coins. The feedback from both vendors and consumers indicated a need for a distinct identity for each coin, which ultimately led to the redesign of the 5 Piso in 2017 into a non-agonal shape and the reintroduction of Jose Rizal as its featured hero. Numismatists studying the 2011 5 Piso coin today often examine it alongside other years in the series to identify trends and compare minting characteristics. The 2011 mintage numbers were among the higher in the BSP series, and the coins were distributed widely across all regions of the Philippines, from Luzon to Mindanao. Collectors typically look for coins that are in brilliant uncirculated condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and have retained their original luster. Such coins are harder to find as they were intended for circulation, not for collectors. And those that survive in pristine condition often come from bank rolls or mint sets. In addition to its value to collectors, the 2011 5 Piso coin continues to be used in educational settings as a teaching tool for students learning about Filipino history, economics, and culture. Teachers often use coins like this to illustrate real-life connections between historical figures and economic systems, while also fostering awareness of national identity and the evolution of Filipino society over time. As we approach the end of this section, we can see that the 2011 5 Piso coin represents far more than its face value. It is a product of revolutionary legacy, a marker of national pride, a reflection of economic conditions, and a part of the daily life of millions of people. Its continued presence in circulation and in coin collections around the world is a testament to the enduring relevance of Andres Bonifacio and the values he stood for. First glance, but holds within it a story of transition, transformation, and historical significance in American numismatics to understand the importance of the 1968 Washington Quarter. We must first take a step back and explore the origins of the Washington Quarter series itself. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and features a left-facing bust of Washington on the obverse with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the date of issue. The reverse depicts a bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows with olive branches, beneath symbolizing America's strength and desire for peace. The Washington Quarter replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, which had been in circulation since 1916. The decision to honor Washington on the quarter was supported by Congress and the Treasury Department as a way to celebrate the nation's foundational legacy from 1932 through 1964. Washington Quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, and were widely collected and circulated throughout the United States. However, the economic and monetary shifts of the early 1960s, including a rising demand for silver in industrial markets and an increase in coin hoarding due to the metal's intrinsic value, led to a major change in U.S. coinage composition. By 1965, the United States Mint eliminated silver from circulating dimes and quarters, transitioning instead to a copper-nickel-clad composition consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This change was part of the Coinage Act of 1965, which was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. The goal was to prevent a coin shortage and preserve precious metal reserves. This clad composition remains in use today and marked a major shift in the nation's coinage policy. Now we arrive at the focus of our story, the 1968 Washington Quarter. This coin represents one of the early years of the clad era, and is the first year that quarters struck at the San Francisco Mint carried the S Mint mark again for circulation, though in a new form in 1968, the San Francisco Mint transitioned to proof-only coinage, while regular circulation quarters were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver Mints. Coins from Philadelphia carried no mint mark, while those from Denver bore the familiar D Mint mark. The 1968 Washington Quarter was minted in three main forms: business strikes from Philadelphia and Denver, and proof coins from San Francisco. Proof coins were specially made for collectors with mirrored fields and frosted devices. These proofs were not intended for circulation and were sold in special sets. The mintage numbers for the 1968 quarters are notable. Philadelphia produced over 220 million quarters, Denver struck over 101 million, and San Francisco produced about 3 million proof quarters. But the value and appeal of the 1968 Washington Quarter go beyond just mintage figures. Collectors today seek these coins for their condition, rarity, and potential errors. High-grade examples, particularly those graded MS67 or higher, can fetch significant premiums on the market due to their scarcity in such pristine condition. Proof coins with deep cameo contrast are especially desirable among collectors, as they represent the highest quality of craftsmanship from the mint. Error varieties are another key reason collectors pursue the 1968 quarter. Among these are off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and coins with filled or missing mint marks. These minting anomalies create a sense of rarity and uniqueness that adds both intrigue and value to the coin. The Washington Quarter series is also a favorite for those assembling full-date and mint mark sets, often stored in albums or display cases, where the 1968 coin plays a vital role in bridging the early silver era and the modern clad age. Beyond numismatics, the 1968 Washington Quarter exists in a broader historical and cultural context. The year 1968 was a pivotal moment in American history, marked by significant political and social upheaval. The Vietnam War was ongoing, civil rights movements were demanding justice and equality, and the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy shook the nation. Coins like the 1968 quarter served as everyday objects that witnessed these turbulent times. Passed from hand to hand through stores, gas stations, schools, and banks. They became silent companions to history. The portrait of George Washington on the obverse reminds us of the nation's enduring ideals, while the eagle on the reverse symbolizes the strength and resilience of the American spirit. These designs remained largely unchanged for decades, reinforcing a sense of stability and tradition during times of change. The 1968 quarter is not just a coin. It is a historical artifact representing the evolution of American coinage, the shift from precious to base metals, and the cultural backdrop of a nation undergoing profound transformation. Over the course of this video, we'll delve even deeper into the design details, the mintage breakdowns, error varieties, grading standards, and collector demand for the 1968 Washington Quarter. We'll Also explore the broader Washington Quarter series from 1932 through the statehood quarter era, beginning in 1999 and beyond, helping you appreciate the full journey of this iconic American coin. So stay tuned as we uncover the complete story of the 1968 Washington Quarter and reveal why this clad coin from a transitional time still captures the fascination of collectors and historians alike through its history, metal composition, mintage, and market value. The Washington Quarter of 1968 stands as a lasting symbol of American change, craftsmanship, and continuity. There is also significant interest in error and variety coins from 1968, which add an extra layer of fascination to this series. Examples include die clashes, where elements from one side of the coin appear faintly on the other due to misalignment during striking double dies, where the design elements appear to be doubled due to misregistration and off-center strikes that occur when the planche is not properly aligned with the dies, creating a crescent of blank space on the coin. Some of these errors are relatively rare and can bring hundreds of dollars at auction, especially when authenticated by third-party grading companies. Mint sets from 1968 are another area of interest. These were sold directly by the U.S. Mint and included one example of each coin denomination from each mint that struck them. These sets give collectors access to well-preserved examples and are still widely collected today with their original government packaging, often adding value to the set. The 1968 mint set would include both the Philadelphia and Denver quarters, while the proof set would contain the San Francisco proof quarter. These sets provide a snapshot of the coinage history from that specific year and are often used by collectors to build complete year sets. In terms of design, there are some subtle differences between Washington quarters over the years that are the result of die-wear hub revisions and slight engraving modifications. Although the core design remained the same from 1932 through 1998, there are small variations in Washington's bust lettering, spacing, and positioning of the mint mark that can be traced and categorized by advanced collectors known as die varieties or hub types. These distinctions require close examination and often the use of magnification or digital imaging technology to fully appreciate. Moving into the macroeconomic context, 1968 was a year where inflation and national budget concerns played a role in shaping coinage policy. The government was closely monitoring the cost of producing coins and ensuring that their face value remained higher than their production cost. The switch from silver to copper-nickel allowed for more economical minting practices and helped reduce hoarding behavior, which had plagued the earlier part of the decade when silver coins were being pulled from circulation en masse by both collectors and speculators. The broader numismatic community in the 1960s was also undergoing a transformation. Coin collecting was moving from a hobby of a few enthusiasts into a widespread pastime, with coin clubs flourishing across the country, numismatic publications growing in number, and coin shows becoming popular destinations for collectors, dealers, and investors alike. The 1968 Washington Quarter benefited from this heightened interest, as more people were looking at their change for hidden gems, rare mint marks, and valuable errors, and this trend helped elevate the status of even common circulation coins to objects of serious interest and potential value. In terms of long-term investment, the 1968 Washington Quarter holds steady appeal due to its role in the early clad era, its availability in high grades, its inclusion in official mint and proof sets, and its potential for dramatic mint errors and variety hunting. While it may not reach the legendary status of rarities like the 1916D Mercury dime or the 1932D and 1932S Washington quarters, in lower mintages, high-grade examples, and certain proof issues of the 1968 quarter can absolutely stand out in the right collection, with their condition, rarity, and historical placement all playing key roles in their desirability. As we explore these details further, we'll break down auction records, recent sales price guides, market trends, and how modern collectors are integrating the 1968 quarter into sets registry, collections, and investment portfolios, with proper grading, authentication, and market knowledge. This humble coin can reveal layers of value and interest that go far beyond its 25-cent face value. It's a coin that represents a moment in American monetary policy, numismatic tradition, and everyday economic history, and it remains a key piece for anyone serious about collecting Washington quarters or building a comprehensive portrait of 20th-century American coinage. Stay with me as we go further into the story of this coin-examining minting technology, die-aging historical documents, collector anecdotes, and the legacy of the Washington Quarter program itself. By the time this video is done, you'll have a full understanding of why the 1968 Washington Quarter is far more than pocket change. It is a gateway to the rich and evolving story of American money craftsmanship and culture, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but carries a rich and fascinating history that stretches back more than a century. To truly understand the 1967 Lincoln penny, we must go back to the origins of the Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The decision to put Lincoln on the cent marked a turning point in American numismatics, and the public reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Victor David Brenner, the designer of the original Lincoln cent, created a portrait of Lincoln based on a photograph taken by Matthew Brady in 1864, and the design was instantly iconic, but there was early controversy, as Brenner had placed his initials VDB prominently on the reverse at the bottom of the coin, which led to criticism and their removal after only a short production run, making the 1909 SVDB one of the most sought-after and valuable Lincoln cents ever minted over the years. The Lincoln penny saw several subtle and not-so-subtle design changes, including modifications to Lincoln's bust, the lettering, and the wheat ears on the reverse, which remained until 1958, when the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the penny itself. Fast forward to 1967, and the United States was in the middle of significant social, economic, and political change. The Vietnam War, civil rights movement, and space race were shaping the nation, and in the coin world, a major issue of coin hoarding and a resulting coin shortage had prompted the U.S. Mint to make several temporary policy changes in the mid-1960s. One of the most notable was the decision to suspend the use of mint marks from 1965 to 1967. This decision meant that all coins, including the 1967 Lincoln penny, were struck without mint marks, making it impossible to distinguish where they were produced. This was done to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on mint origin and to keep more coins in circulation. The 1967 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities at all three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But again, none of the coins carry a mint mark, so identifying the mint of origin is generally not possible for circulated examples. However, with some advanced techniques and die analysis, some experts can attribute a few coins to specific mints, especially those that show distinct characteristics in the strike quality or die, where the composition of the 1967 Lincoln cent remained the same as in previous years, at 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was before the shift in 1982 to the modern copper-plated zinc core penny. Due to rising metal costs, the weight of the 1967 penny is 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a plain edge. What makes the 1967 Lincoln penny particularly interesting for collectors is not just the mintage or its lack of mint mark, but the varieties and errors that emerged during this time. The mint was producing coins at a high rate, and with fewer quality control measures compared to today, this led to a number of notable errors that have become quite collectible today. Among these are double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. One of the most desirable errors from this year is the 1967 doubled die obverse, where strong doubling can be seen on the date and lettering, though scarce, it is a sought-after piece in high grades, and certified examples can fetch significant premiums on the market in addition to error coins. Proof coins were not struck in 1967 due to the mint's focus on eliminating the coin shortage and discouraging collecting. As a result, the mint issued special mint sets, or SMS coins, from 1965 through 1967. These sets were not proof, but were higher quality than regular business. Strikes struck with more care and often showing better surfaces, and strikes the 1967 SMS Lincoln cent is known for having a sharper strike and in many cases a satin-like finish, which appeals to collectors, but grading these coins can be tricky since SMS coins fall somewhere between business strikes and proofs and must be evaluated carefully by experts in high grades, especially MS67 and above. These coins can command impressive values from collectors who want to complete high-quality date sets over the years. The 1967 Lincoln penny has gained appreciation not only as a vintage copper cent, but as a piece of history from a transitional period in American coinage and society. It serves as a reminder of how economic pressures and national policy can directly influence the coinage that millions of people use. Every day, as we look at surviving examples from this year, especially those in brilliant uncirculated condition or with unique varieties, we see the legacy of a coin that bridged tradition and change in U.S. minting practices for collectors. Understanding the subtle nuances of this coin, including die varieties, strike differences, and surface quality, can provide a rewarding experience and potentially uncover hidden value in what might at first appear to be a common penny. This journey through the 1967 Lincoln penny is also a reflection on how even the most modest coins in our pockets can carry stories of the past, craftsmanship, politics, economics, and human ingenuity. The fact that this single cent represents all of these layers is what makes numismatics so fascinating for so many people. Whether you are a beginner, just learning about Lincoln cents, or an experienced collector, searching for high-end varieties, the 1967 Lincoln penny offers depth, rarity, history, and beauty. And with that, we will now explore various specimens under magnification, compare different grades, examine known errors, and take a look at auction results and values to help you better identify what makes a 1967 Lincoln cent worth collecting and how you can spot the most valuable examples in circulation or in your own collection. So stay tuned as we go deeper into the world of the 1967 Lincoln penny right here on the channel. As of recent years, auction records show that top-graded 1967 Lincoln cents in MS67 red condition have sold for several $100s, with a few exceptional examples surpassing the $1,000 mark, particularly when the coin is free of distracting spots, has full luster, and excellent eye appeal. Coins from SMS sets in SP67 or SP68 condition can also bring strong premiums, especially when designated with the cameo or deep cameo label, which indicates a strong contrast between frosted devices and mirrored fields. These designations are relatively rare for 1967 SMS Lincoln cents and are highly prized among specialists. Looking beyond individual coins, the 1967 Lincoln cent is part of a broader numismatic trend that reflects the changing nature of American coin collecting during the 1960s. It marks a time when the mint was adjusting its priorities, transitioning from silver-based coinage to base metals, implementing quality control innovations like hub design standardization, and trying to balance public demand with economic pressures. The removal of mint marks and the end of proof coins during this period reveal how the mint attempted to de-incentivize hoarding and speculation in an increasingly unstable economy. For the modern collector, the 1967 Lincoln penny offers more than just a challenge in acquiring a high-grade example. It offers an opportunity to study mint policy-era production, transitional design elements, and the socio-economic conditions of mid-century America. The coin may be common in lower grades, but it contains immense historical depth when examined through a numismatic lens. In this channel, we often talk about value, rarity, and market trends, but it's just as important to understand the stories behind the coins and what they represent about the times in which they were made, whether you're collecting Lincoln cents by year and mint mark, or focusing on specific varieties, errors, or die states. The 1967 penny provides a cornerstone example of how much history can be packed into a simple 1-cent piece. And if you're lucky enough to find one in high mint state condition with a rare variety or from a high-quality SMS set, then you may just be holding a piece of numismatic gold. As we continue this video, I will now show you detailed close-ups of actual 1967 Lincoln cents, side-by-side comparisons between SMS and business strikes, illustrations of common and rare errors grading tips based on real submissions, and a walkthrough of recent auction sales so you can know exactly what to look for when evaluating your own collection. So stay with me as we explore every inch of the 1967 Lincoln cent, right here on the channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dive coin history videos, just like this one.